Hi. Went to the lake yesterday, left with 4 fish, which is a low number for me, but it's the second time in a row that I've done that. I've got to figure the lake out. Since they've removed all the pond weed, the fish have adjusted to the new environment, and I have to figure that out. I don't think it's anything wrong with fish population. I know they're still in there. So I have a lot of work cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to basics. I'm going to get the lake map out, kind of re-look at the topographical features and reapproach. And I'm going to see if I can figure this place out. I know the fish are there. This is not like hunting Bigfoot. It's not like I'm assuming they are there, or that I hope they are. I know the fish are in there, so I have to figure it out. I have to go in there and rethink my game. And so it ought to be fun. But I hope you enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Greetings, everybody. It is Monday, September 5th, and I'm out here at the lake. I had planned a river trip because, again, I've not been downriver once this year yet. See, it is 11:15. Temperature is around 72. It's not supposed to get very warm today. It's only supposed to get in the mid-70s. The wind is forecast at 4, but as you can see on the water, it's blowing a little bit more than 4. I'm hoping to have mostly overcast skies, but right now it seems to be breaking up. So everything I hoped for and thought was going to be here is not here. But it doesn't matter. It is what it is. So starting today with an underspin, a spinnerbait, brand new square bill crankbait that I just bought yesterday. It's a brim pattern. And chartreuse sexy shad lipless crankbait. So that's the lineup. That's what we're going to do. So we'll go out and give it a shot and see where we end up. Okay, I started off with an underspin, but I'm seeing a lot of movement up here in the pads. So the underspin has an exposed hook. I can't throw that up here, so I switched to a weightless Texas rig stickworm and a green watermelon flake. So hopefully the first fish is going to come on that up here in these pads and in this muck. I'll show you how I use this stickworm. I come up here and I find these openings in the pads like this, and a lot of times I'll just sit here a minute and wait to see if I see any movement, and if I don't, I just start from one side. Now there's some movement right there. See all those ripples around that pad? There was a fish right there. So I'll just basically go from one end to the other, throw it right over to the edge, pull it into the opening, and I'm just twitching it, keeping it right near the surface. If those fish see that and they want to feed, they will come up and grab it. But I'll make this cast, I'll work it around, then I'll go 5 feet that way and just keep until I cover the whole opening, and see if anybody comes knocking. You go right to the edge, because a lot of times they're hanging on the edge, watching the opening, waiting for a frog or a bird or some creature to move. Okay, this is a brand new rod and reel combo. I just got it Friday. Somebody gave it to me as a gift. And both the rod and the reel are awesome. But I'm going to do something I rarely do out here, and I'm going to switch reels from one rod to the next, and I'll tell you why I'm going to do that. I'm going to put both of these together, and you'll notice on the new rod how much further this way the reel mounts. On this rod, the reel is back here closer. Well, speaking, in terms of physics, your reel is the fulcrum, and the distance from the reel to the end of the rod is called the arm. And the longer the arm, the more distance you get casting. So on a spinnerbait, I really don't need all that much distance. My casts are shorter and precise. On the crankbait, I just did make a lot of open water, long casts. So the more water I can cover, the better. So I'm going to take this reel and this reel and swap them and hopefully get better use out of both. All right, so I made the switch. I've got my new reel on my other rod and vice versa. The confusing thing about this is both of these rods, if you look, both of these rods are 6-foot rods. The difference is the distance between the butt of the rod and the reel. This one is much further back towards the butt of the rod, so that gives me a longer arm or fulcrum or a lever, so I can generate more power and get a longer cast. That's not as important with my spinnerbait because my casts on the spinnerbait are a lot closer and more accurate. So that's really my concern with the spinnerbait. So it's okay that it's on this shorter lever, and that's why I made this switch. You cast with the spinnerbait, there's a fish right there. That makes you cast on the shorter lever, and it's fine. So this will allow me to be a little more precise, and that one will give me some more distance. So this is going to work out perfectly. And all I'm doing is just throwing into a little open spot in there and driving this spinnerbait through those lily pads towards the open water, and a lot of times it will get ambushed right when it comes out of the pads. And whenever I'm retrieving my spinnerbait, I run it as close to whatever pads are close to me, and usually that's where they're hanging, right close to the weeds of the pads. Well, 2 hours in and I've got my first hook up. If I can get him out of these weeds, it'd be interesting. All right. Well, that is a nice 1 3/4, maybe a little more. That is a 18-inch fish. It might be a 2-pounder. I threw my wacky worm right in here by this tree, and he came out and snatched that worm and took off running with it. So number 1 in the boat. Nice little bass. See you, buddy. Off he goes. Alrighty. Well, it's more than a little bit slow today. Took off that spinnerbait I started with, and I switched over to my purple and just hooked into this little fish right here. And he is 14.5, maybe 15 inches. Nice little fish. There's only 2 in the boat in all this time. Pretty slow day. I just came over here to take out, winging my rattle trap around the edge of this weed over here, and I got number 4 in the boat, and it's a decent little largemouth. Got him on the Sexy Shad lipless crankbait. Number 4. He's getting a little over a pound, 1.25 pounds.